Hey guys, it's Crypto Llama here, and today I wanted to talk about the SPS token, which is a part of the multi-token ecosystem in Splinterlands. This token could very well go parabolic if a combination of these circumstances materialize over the coming months. So I wanted to share these thoughts with you and go into a little more detail to explore the possibilities of SPS's future price action. At its all-time highs a few months after the token was deployed last year, SPS had a market cap valuation of nearly 170 million and a price of $1.12. At this point in time, there were only 150 million tokens in circulation. Consequently, this meant that the price action could quite easily be pushed higher. We can see an example of this here when back in October, there was a 32-cent price increase within the space of an hour, which was nearly a 50% move at the time. It's actually rather unfortunate that the bear market and a few other factors intervened that added to the selling pressure. Because considering how incredibly low the supply was at the time, SPS could have potentially mooned much further. If we go back to the daily chart here, you can see the difference in the price action from back in October, where we had nice long extended bars and price movement. Because back then it was considerably easier to push the needle as far less capital was required to do so due to the token's limited supply. But if we look at the contrast on the price action from the latest bars on the right hand side of the chart, we can see that the price movement is shallow and heavily diminished. And this is partly due to the requirement of needing more capital to push the price because of the increased token supply. If we fast forward to now, the current market cap of SPS is 46 million with a price of 0.0579 cents. There's roughly 800 million tokens in circulation as opposed to the 150 million that were in circulation at SPS's previous highs. The last time SPS had a market cap of what it is currently at 46 million was back in September 2021 at a price of 34 cents. Now, the reason why SPS had the same market cap valuation back in September 2021, but was worth nearly 6 times more the current price of 0.0579, was because back then there were far less tokens distributed and in circulation, around 135 million. So we can see here, as a consequence of more tokens being distributed, a dilution in the overall value of the token becomes apparent as well. This dilution is made clear if we take today's price of SPS at 0.0579 cents, and we had a rally up to 21 cents. If this 21 cent level was reached, the token would actually have the same market cap valuation that it had at its all-time highs, way back up here in October last year when it was priced at $1.12. Today, if we were to reclaim the all-time high prices that we saw in SPS in October last year at $1.12, whilst also taking into consideration the 807 million tokens in circulation now, as opposed to the 150 that were in circulation back then, we would actually now require a market cap valuation of nearly $1 billion instead of the 167 million valuation which we had last time we were at $1.12. This $1 billion market cap valuation that we would require to reach the same prices as we did at SPS peaks would be an equivalent valuation as some other cryptocurrencies such as EOS, Aave, Maker, and IOTA. This is not out of the question, but it's obviously going to be far more difficult than it was previously with less tokens in circulation. So to see SPS's value increase to where it was at all-time highs again, SPS would have to more than 20x its current market cap valuation for it to be worth the same value due to the increase in the token supply. Another interesting stat here is that if SPS did in fact have a $1 billion market cap valuation when it only had 150 million tokens in circulation, the price of it would have actually been nearly $6.70. So other than the obvious exposure to the bear market, we can see here that one of the main reasons SPS is having such a hard time price-wise is because of the continuous dilution and increase in the supply of the token. Because as we continuously increase the supply, we need significantly more capital to push the needle to higher prices. The question is though, how do we remedy this? Well, the easiest way to increase SPS value would be by decreasing its supply. But this would have to be in a substantial way. Burning SPS with node licenses is a valiant idea, but will have little effect in the short to medium term. 32.7 million or 4% of the total current SPS supply has been burnt thus far. But unfortunately, the amount of SPS that will be burnt in the future will actually decrease from what is being burnt right now. And this is because in order to make the tranches worth purchasing for investors, SPS would have to increase substantially in price. And with that increase in price means smaller amounts of SPS would be getting burnt. As an example here, in order for the last tranche 7 to be a viable investment at $40,000, SPS's price would have to be well over $1, and this would mean that the SPS burnt for each node license at this level using vouchers would be far less than even 20,000 SPS per license, as opposed to the 26,000 SPS it's requiring at the moment using vouchers. So consequently, if we look at the distribution period and the rates at which SPS is being released, this will not be a hugely meaningful amount, as it's likely that there will be more SPS released into circulation than would be getting burnt in the short to medium term. So then, what else can we do here? On July the 26th of 2021, when the token was deployed, 50 million SPS was released into the Foundation treasury. This foundation is controlled entirely by staked SPS token holders through the DAO. Once the DAO is live, token holders will be able to submit proposals on how they want these tokens to be used. And if the proposal is passed based on the votes from these staked SPS holders, then the tokens will be distributed accordingly. In total, over the 65 months of SPS distribution, 300 million SPS, or 10% of the max ever supply, will go into this Foundation treasury. Currently, there are still 53 months left of the SPS distribution remaining. So from this total of 300 million going into the Foundation treasury over the 65 months, we can estimate that nearly 4 million SPS is being added to the Foundation treasury per month. This means that so far, the Foundation treasury currently has around 100 million SPS in it. In my eyes, the prudent thing to do with this SPS would just be to burn it all. This would reduce the total supply of SPS by around 12%, allowing a little bit of breathing room for SPS to increase in value. Secondly, as seen on the latest roadmap, we aren't too far away now from the release of Rift Watches, which is the next mini edition booster packs to be sold in the Splinterverse. This edition will only be able to be purchased using SPS tokens, all of which will go directly into the SPS Foundation treasury. In total, there will be 3 million Rift Watcher boosters sold at an estimated value of $5 worth of SPS per pack. At current prices, 260 million SPS would go into the treasury from the Rift Watcher's sale. But more realistically, if we used a 70% buffer for SPS's price to increase to 10 cents between now and when Rift Watchers goes live, because we need to make note that if SPS increases in value between now and that release, that means that less SPS will go into the treasury. But even with this buffer, the sale of Rift Watchers would owe 150 million tokens to the Foundation treasury, where staked SPS holders could propose and vote what to do with those funds. Now, if we were to combine the Rift Watchers sale with what is already in the Foundation treasury, whilst also leaving that 70% price buffer, just in case SPS increases between now and then, this would equate to nearly 250 million SPS tokens available to SPS holders to do with what they please. If we were to burn 250 million SPS, that would be 30% of SPS's current supply. This starts looking increasingly enticing to SPS holders. If for somehow SPS price stayed at the current value of 0.0579 cents up until and throughout the Rift Watchers sale, which is actually unlikely, but this would equate to 260 million SPS going into the Foundation treasury, which if combined with the current SPS that's already in the treasury, this would be a total of 360 million SPS. If this amount was burned, this would mean a 44% reduction of the total token supply. If you're an SPS bear now and you think that the price is going to decrease, then you can see just how many tokens more this would mean for the SPS burn if that were meant to happen. When we start getting into these type of amounts and talking about over a 40% burn of a total supply of a token, large price movement would follow. With a 40% reduction in supply of the token and SPS having the same market cap of 167 million that it had back in October, SPS would be valued at 52 cents per token. Furthermore, to get back to the all-time high prices of SPS, SPS's market cap would only have to be just over double what it was back in October, at 167 million. So we would only require a 361 million market cap to get back to $1.12, instead of the 20x valuation that is required now without the burn. It's for this very reason that I disagree on the debate on whether vouchers should be required to purchase Rift watches. If they are required, then the estimated price of $5 per pack should not be reduced by using vouchers, because this means that less SPS would be required, and that means less SPS that could potentially be burnt. And this burn would have a significant effect on the value of SPS in the future and be beneficial for all SPS holders rather than a marginal short-term price increase on the vouchers just because of that small added utility. I should also say that a burn is not the be-all and end-all. Matt has said numerous times that Splinterlands intends on adding game-changing utility to SPS and its multi-token ecosystem. And I have full belief in the team that they're always going to do what's right for the community, as they've proved time and time again. So it could also be likely that some kind of burning mechanism would be added to SPS itself, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see this. I think big things are coming for SPS this year, and when you see posters like this being made by the team, you're going to be wanting to be holding some when these changes come into effect. But suffice to say, in the short to medium term, burning all the Foundation Treasury SPS would be a surefire way to increase the value of SPS basically overnight. In turn, if a large burn like this happened, this would create major waves throughout the play-to-earn industry, and we would likely see a massive increase in the player volume in addition to the higher SPS prices. And then there would be a knock-on effect because, of course, with more players, the value of all the Splinterlands assets would increase. So what do you think about an SPS burn? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Please smash that like and subscribe button. Check out my community Discord for all the giveaways. That's in the video description below as well. But other than that, I will see you on the blockchain.